Hello and welcome to episode 3 of SKEncore. In addition to the usual news, media and theater roundup, we continue today with the introduction of the Team S members and also take some time to talk about the current stage. I'm Chris, I'm having a light cold today, and joining me today are Jeff.
Yeah.
Willy.
Yeah.
And Nick.
What's up?
Since it's really cold where I live currently, I think the best way to warm up is with the burning passion of SKE48, so let's take a look at the news first. On February 24th, we learned that the Draft 3 members have started with their lessons. So I guess we can hope they will be joining performances as soon as possible, given that there's currently no Tuesday stage. But I think there will be a way to include them.
Yeah, not sure what they are performing for. I think maybe the SSA concert.
Yeah. Maybe they will do a special performance on 31st. End of March or so, introduction performance.
I think they definitely will appear at one of the concerts. Like, they need to show them, and that's what they've done with the previous draftees.
Yeah.
So, I think they'll do it at the next concert.
Yeah, I think so too. Okay, Will, what happened on 25th?
So, Nomura Miyo held the shareholders' general meeting of her company model agency Miyo in the AKB Cafe in Akihabara. So it has to do with the Aikabu phone game. So I had no idea actually that they were organizing this kind of events. I don't know if any other SK member did that before Miyo. She's probably the first one.
Yeah,
but I can tell she's really into the game. She's always talking about it and following her progress of her stocks in the game. So they invited Yukina and Nanogeki Miki to act as the mother and sister of Miyo.
Mm.
So yeah, Yukina was a bit pissed that they would make her act as the mother. And also they released a soap from the brand model agency Miyo, especially for the event.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wonder if they will do this for other members too, or if it's just a one-time thing.
Wait, did I hear that right? They're releasing her soap?
Yeah.
So what, you can buy her soap now, or what?
I think it was limited to the event.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Is it, like, does it have her name on it, or like,
Yeah.
How is it? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
the name of the company and
Okay.
and her photo on the box.
Another nice idea to get some money.
Yeah.
Okay. On February 26th, the results of the Katarina SKEncore audition, I think it's called, were released. It's of course not really an SK thing, but we have still 5 members from SK included. Saito Makiko, Takata Yuki, Suzuki Rika, Fukai Negai, and Kitagawa Yoshino will play roles in the Romeo and Juliet play they were doing. And I really don't know about the roles, but Pierce will play Romeo's father and Fukai Negai will be Juliet's father. And then there's a nurse and someone called Hide. I don't know who's that.
Yeah, I don't know either who is that, and I know the play. Looking at the list of roles, there's actually 2 roles that don't exist in the original play, so I guess it's an adaptation.
Oh, okay.
So Takahata's role is one of them. Then Makiko as Mercutio and Yoshino as the nurse are pretty important roles, actually. And
Mercutio especially.
Yeah.
And, I guess it's something to look forward.
Also, there's 2 different casts, and only Makiko is in the B cast, like all the other members are together in the A cast.
Okay. Are there actually informations when it will be released or when they will do it? I think not yet, right?
Not yet.
So we will come back to that too. Yeah, okay. On February 27th, there's like a minor news, but Aikawa Honoka has finally opened her Twitter. I think she's the last one from 7th generation who hasn't had Twitter yet for some reason, and it was restricted immediately after starting for some Twitter issue. I think other members had it too before. this morning she actually tweeted just core, and that's all. So I'm not sure if it's really working already, but yeah, the last one has finally also Twitter. Okay, then February 28th, and Will again.
So they released the titles and members list for the coupling songs of the next AKB single. So the SKE song on type A is titled I no Moake. So Moake is when you finish mourning something. So it's the end of month for love, basically. So the members are the all SKE Senbatsu members from Ushiki no Hiro, except Gotolala, who is out and replaced by Sue Nagaoka, which is surprising. I mean, I thought Lala was a staple more than some other members in the Senbatsu, and apparently she didn't take it well. She didn't want to talk about it on her blog, but she's a pretty competitive girl, so it's not surprising that she would be.
Yeah, I was talking about this with Nick before, but I think it's maybe the management trying to experiment with possible new Senbatsu members, and using them in the coupling song is no risk for SKE at all in some way. So I think they just put in it now Ochan or so to see if she would be suited for Senbatsu or so.
And I think Ochan is clearly one of the members who's going to be Senbatsu like next year.
Yeah.
So she's got good handshake results, and she had a center in the B-side. The one with the rugby. Don't remember the name.
Love Letter 32's Sabara no Romansu.
And about that song, so I think they unveiled the MV today in the handshake, because I've seen Matome site and people on Twitter saying it's a Julina center. So I guess we'll see the MV pretty soon, I think.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, since they showed it at the handshake events, it's forbidden to take pictures, so nobody sneaked their phone to take one and posted it, apparently.
Yeah, I think the only one thing that bumped me a bit out of this news is that they didn't use another S member, so instead of Lada, because they really need again some more S members in the Senbatsu, and this would be a nice way to try it out.
So if you when you buy the singles from a list of shops, you get a special picture with it. So this time it's easy. Just buy it from the AKB official shop, and you get the picture with Yunano.
Ah, okay. Okay. Also on the same day, during the K2 stage, was announced that Oya Masuna's graduation concert and the unit battle concert from last year will be released on DVD. He released a digest video, and the DVD will be released on March 21st, and of course we will talk about that after we watch it. But yeah, this was especially Unit 1 was really nice from what I heard, so I'm looking forward to that one. Also there were other news regarding Soda's photo book.
Yeah, so for her photo book, she's had events previously where she just handed out the photo book to fans, which is kind of the normal procedure for photo book release events. But I guess they want to increase the sales of the photo book, so they're having another event in 2 days where they've announced that they'll be giving like special kind of prizes to the fans for going. So if you go and you buy her photo book, you get to pick a little thing out of I guess it'll be a stick out of a jar, and you're going to be able to win a prize with that stick. So there's multiple prizes you can win. So you can get a 2-shot with Sarina. You can get she can sign your photo book right there. You can get a poster like a special poster they just made for that occasion. You can get some chocolate. It says original chocolate, but I'm not sure what the chocolate will be. And you can also get a postcard with an original message on it. So yeah, it just seems like a cool little way to, boost some sales, make make these photo book release events a bit more fun.
Yeah, I think it's a really nice idea to do.
I think it's the first time I hear of something like that for members still in the group, because graduated members do this kind of events, like Ishida Anna on Christmas Eve at a similar event. But yeah, usually it's just like I don't know, when Julia released her photo book, she was just handing it to the fans.
Yeah, I mean, when I went to Aya's photo book event, it was like this. If you bought 5 of them, you could get a 2-shot. If you bought 3 of them, you got the photos. And if you bought one, she just gave it to you. But you got a handshake too, so.
Maybe it's foretelling Soda's graduation soon.
Stop dreaming.
Who knows?
Nice try.
Dream.
Just as a short addition, as I mentioned before, when Honono started her Twitter account, right now she just did a proper introduction tweet, so the account is now fully working. So that is really just happened now. And also on February 28th, the 6th generation had a 5-year anniversary in SKE. And well, actually they're talking about it during the last Team S stage a bit, because Duna apparently forgot how many years it was.
They talked about it as well during the K2MC on the very day when it was their anniversary, because there were like four of them, I think, together during the MC before the last song. The half team one, I mean. Yeah,
time has really passed pretty fast. Looking at that, 5 years already. That's quite a lot.
It's funny. We just talked about the SKE coupling song, and the short version is just out right now on YouTube.
Okay, we have a great timing today.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess we will include this one in the next episode if we have had time to watch it. On March 1st, there was a showroom where the Zebra Angels, these coupling or this cooperation with Kyoraku Pachinko, they introduced their new costumes and one new member because of the graduations. And the new member is Arai Yuki. He will be yellow, the colorwise. So it was nice to watch.
Yeah, I tried to watch the episode on March 1st to see who would be the new member, but actually they didn't show her at all during the episode. So yeah, I was wondering when they announced it, so it wasn't showroom. Okay.
Yeah, they did a special live one for that.
Yeah, didn't think it was going to be her but she's turning 20 in a few months.
Yeah.
On May.
Exactly. So she's just barely, maybe she will have to wait with her activities until she gets 20.
Most likely.
Yeah. Okay. On March 2nd, what happened there, Nick?
Yeah, so Shuri had her first appearance for her new play called Sengoku Basara, which is actually a video game and anime series, which they've made. I think this is the second play adaptation they've made of that. So I don't know if any of you know about the Dynasty Warriors video game. It's kind of it's sort of popular. That one's based in historical China. And you fight like a bajillion little guys, and you're just you have a huge weapon. Anyway, so that kind of video game genre is a bit popular, and so this Sengoku Basara series is developed by Capcom, and it's basically the same. I mean, I've never played it, but I looked videos up on YouTube, and so the video game looks about the same as that, the Dynasty Warriors style. And actually, Dynasty Warriors has a spin-off on the Sengoku period anyway. So those two games, to me, they just seem identical. Anyway, so Churi had this was her first, she's been practicing for this play, by the way, since late January. Since after she finished with her previous play, Only Silverfish, she has begun practicing for this play. So it's been a really long time, and she wrote about how difficult it was to practice for this play. Since she had to learn how to, hold a weapon and practice with like this kind of other outfit on, which was a bit heavier than what she was used to. And so yeah, obviously I didn't go to it. This one, I think it was in Tokyo. The first day. But I saw people on Twitter write things, and it seemed to have gone really, really well. At the end, she was a bit nervous, so she asked people how they thought her role was. So actually, I think this kind of got to her, but when her role was first announced, so she plays a character called Oichi, and so that character apparently is a very depressed kind of character. So people are like, oh, it kind of suits you. It's kind of like a dark character, and so people, like fans, were like, oh, this is like the perfect role for you. However, I remember when it was first announced, there were some people tweeting at the official like Twitter account for the not at Churi, but at the Play account on Twitter, saying that they didn't like her being cast, and they all had been looking forward to. Well, anyway, this was very few people, like maybe 3 at most, saying that they would have rather had the previous actress from the previous time they because most of the cast was recast from the last time. And so Churi was a new member of the cast. So I'm pretty sure she read those messages, and she kind of, felt a bit bad about, her role in there. And so she asked the fans and the people there how it was, and people seem to really have liked it. So I'm glad it went well. And she asked me personally to go watch it, but I don't know if I will.
Tokyo is not too close.
Yeah, well, she's doing some in Osaka. In a couple weeks.
Okay, then.
So I could go.
You could.
I could, but Maya's got handshakes on the same day.
So important,
yeah. When I told Maya that, she's like, "Yeah, come see me instead."
Okay, yeah. I guess I can relate. Also, same day we had more news regarding Passion for You.
Oh yeah. So the Passion for You, like I've been saying, they had a previous round to determine the top 34 members. So that's been decided. I'm really not going to go over like who ranked, because there's 34 members. But I said it's kind of who you'd expect to win. But anyway, Ego-chan ranked first. Her fans are really good at that, at Passion for You. And anyway, so now we're in the second round, and I just want to tell you guys how much of a money grab this next round is. So this is the round that actually matters for the senbatsu, for the commercial.
Yeah.
So now it's the top 16 members who get in this commercial senbatsu, and you basically do this event to get little tickets, just like the last one, to vote. But so it's like other phone games where there's a gacha system where you pay money to get cards.
Yeah.
Right. So this is really stupid, but it costs 3,000 yen, so like $30, to try and get 10 cards. And people are really spending a lot of money on this because there's certain cards that give you a better chance of getting tickets. So actually, Sakamoto Marin, she actually posted a video yesterday of her trying to get like 10 cards. So she spent 3,000 yen. And she got like the absolute worst cards that you could get. And she was so angry. And that's happening to everyone. They're just so angry. This guy I know on Twitter, he spent like I'll just convert to dollars, but $360. So like 30,600 or 36,000 yen on just trying to get cards. And he got like one card that was useful or whatever. And you need to pay. Yeah, exactly. You need to pay like 300 yen for like one potion to get your energy back. Anyway, people are going crazy. Like they're just spending money like hell.
Yeah, I mean, it's been ages since I played Pokemon or so, and I remember these cards were much cheaper. So I think I prefer the real card games.
Yeah, just letting you know that this is a total money grab, and it's
surprising.
Not fun.
I mean, you can't do it outside of Japan anyway, easily. So don't worry about that.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm just letting you know that.
Okay, then we have some news about graduated members from Will.
Yeah, so Futamura Haruka opened a YouTube channel a few days ago. So she's actually posting several videos a day, short videos, showing her eating or cooking stuff or playing basketball or just talking about things she likes. So it's called Haru TV. Last week I talked about Deguchi Aki's with releasing a single, and actually it's going to be the opening song of an anime called Rokuhodo Yotsuhiro Biori. So it should give her quite a lot of visibility. Then Yakata Miki is pausing her activities in March for medical reasons. She announced that a few days ago. And the biggest news of the week is Kito Momona's, so Mikami Yua, starting her own K-pop group called Honey Popcorn with two other girls from Muteki, who are also former idols. One of them is former NMB Ken Kyusei, and the other one was a member of Backstage Pass in Akihabara.
So now it's more or less a porn group.
Yeah.
I thought it was really a troll, but I think it's actually happening. It's so weird.
Wait, so is this like an actual K-pop group, or are they like just doing a little thing in Korea and then they're just selling their porn? I don't get it.
I don't think you can even buy porn in South Korea.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see how that will turn out. Okay. With
the internet is free.
Yeah, exactly. With that, we finish the news roundup and moving to the theater roundup. We started with a double E stage on 25th.
Yeah, so it was the return of Makiko and Dasu. So they were there was a wrestling lesson, so they missed a couple of a perf. So it was all team E plus Ami and Aina for unders for both perf. Nothing really to say about the first one. It was pretty much Makiko coming back. So it was every member telling her what she missed, like Don-chan and Honono becoming friends, which pissed her off. Because Makiko's been trying to be friend with Honono for like a year, I think now.
Yeah, so there was another. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go on.
I'll move on to another one. Okay, so there was another teamy that day, the evening one. So again, same lineup, and for both of these teamy theaters, Makiko was like the center of discussion for like one MC. Yeah. They were just like, "Oh, what did you miss?" And and I remember Narumi was like, Naruto-chan was like, "Oh, you missed my graduation announcement," and anyway, and Makiko just kicked her. So. This one, the later one was the fan birthday. So there are some theaters, like it's every 2 months, they lump in. So like this time was January and February. So if you were born in January and February, you can go to like only you can apply to that stage, and so it's like the fan Seitansai. So at the end they sang Namida Surprise, and they gave the fans a cake. They didn't really give them a cake, but they had a cake for the fans. And they spent one MC teaching the fans how to do Hartnell Vector dance move. Well, I mean the pen-like movements. So actually, if you go to the Team E performance in person, they give you a piece of paper with some illustrations by Kamata Natsuki that she drew of like the different steps for the pen-like movements for that song.
Okay.
And I've been to because that. For the chorus of that song, there's a lot of movements to make with your pen light.
Yeah, they posted a video, right? Actually.
Yeah. So I'm really bad, and I've actually never memorized how to do it. So like every time I do it, I'm like, okay, next time I'm gonna memorize, I'm gonna practice for sure, and then I just end up forgetting, and I feel like the biggest idiot in the world. I'm just there, and I'm like, shit, I gotta follow other people. But honestly, everyone does that. They all try and mimic each other. And it's a mess. It's pretty messy, yeah. But this time it was really good because they spent an entire MC teaching the fans how to do it, and it was long, like 15 minutes. Well, okay, maybe not 15, but like really long, teaching the fans how to do it. They do it from time to time. I actually don't like it because it's pretty much my favorite MC. And when kind of wasted on it. Yeah, kind of pissed.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I agree with that. All right, moving on. There was another theater on the next day for K2. So this was Sakamoto Marin's first under for K2. So Sakipon was saying in the intro that Marin had actually been to one of her Kenkyusei performances, as well as a two-shot event with her. So she's like, oh, look, we have an otaku here, and she's become a member. So she's like, we met here in the theater, and now she's here with me performing in the theater. So how cool is that?
Yeah.
And then after another MC, Marin said she likes Ego and she has a hard time dealing with Yumana, which isn't really true. She just kind of said that because she had to pick someone. And she revealed that her yatane catchphrase doesn't actually mean anything. She just kind of took it at random.
She made it up on her audition streams, she told once.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the fans liked it and she just continued it.
Yeah, so then someone asked her why she became a fan, and she said she became a fan of SK during AKB's Zenkoku tour in, I don't think it's a tour, but anyway, there was Zenkoku in Nagoya Dome.
Yeah.
And so when she saw the SK members perform, she liked them. But, she was in grade school, so, yeah. And Kohaku's mom was there to see her perform. So, but anyway, apart from that, that's about it.
Okay. Next day was not really the last Kenkyusei stage, but in some way it was. So, Will, what anything?
It was the last one before they start incorporating shuffling girls from every team in the stage, and actually they didn't even talk about it.
Yeah, I was curious about that.
It was not announced as a Senshuraku. Anyway, but for still, I was expecting to hear about it. But the fact that we didn't, I don't know if it means that the shuffle is temporary, and I don't know, maybe from April it will be again the just Kenkyuseis in the stage. Or if not, I suppose they will do a proper Senshuraku before changing to the new stage. But yeah, it was a bit surprising.
Yeah, I mean, the Kenkyusei or the Seishun Girl stage on the 5th, on Monday, will be like the normal Kenkyusei lineup, because it's Wada Aina Seitansai. So, even though it's still called not Kenkyusei stage, but SKE48 stage. I don't know how they are treated. It's like really invisible at the moment what they were planning.
Yeah, because the one on the 8th, I think, it's a regular member again. So.
Yeah, there's 4 members that are switching, but.
So let's see how this will turn out. Anyway, next day was again K2 stage.
Yeah, so this stage started off with actually only 15 members. So Takatsuka Natsuki was not feeling well, so they started without her. So there were only 15. So they called up Kataoka Narumi. So they called up Narupi to come, and since I guess she's always available at all times, I guess she's like she is the go-to. She's super sub. Yeah. So they called her. I think they called her during their first, the first 4 songs.
Yeah.
And so then she made her way while this, she was on the way to the theater while it was ongoing. So she only appeared during the MC before Jigsaw Puzzle, so that more than halfway, pretty much near the end. But apart from that, a very, totally normal, nothing to say really about this theater.
Okay. Yeah, on the next day, on the 1st, we had Team S stage. I think we had one on February 1st too, actually, so very nice continuation. It was the usual S members, except Jurina, and Marin and Isolin were unders.
except Jurina, so the usual S members.
Completely normal. Akapin was by Wanchan and Kamui Ayuka, and I think it was Ayuka's second time doing Akapin. So,
I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah, she wrote on Twitter it was second time, so I also didn't remember she did, but apparently.
Yeah, me too.
We missed some. It was actually the first anniversary of Kitagawa Team S, because 1 year ago we had Nakatamiki's creation stage. And so they were mostly talking about this one, that's now the second year and so on. and in one MC they were talking about, since it's graduation season in high school and so on, about things they want to graduate from. And in my opinion, the word Satsugo came far too often during that MC. But Yokonyan said she's always really nervous before every stage, and especially during her Seitan-sai, she was like 2 days ago already started getting nervous and doing rehearsals all the time. Isoline said that even though she says in her catchphrase that she likes corn, she actually doesn't. So she kind of wants to leave that out. And of course, the audience and the members were surprised by that. And Lu-chan is apparently always ignoring line messages, so she wants to quit from that. Actually on that day, Ai kind of hurt herself, I guess. So she missed Tsugai Toge. Then she came back for the MCs, but she had a bandage on her knee. And she was in Aino Duel, but she missed the dance medley and most part of Okidoki. She came back later then. So lots of her friends were pretty worried. But she said she's fine.
Yeah, she still had the bandages for yesterday's session girls Koen too. Yeah. But she seemed fine, so...
Exactly. So the next stage is the Seitan-sai, so I hope she's completely fine after that. Then again. Yeah.
So next day was on March 2nd. So it was the session girl, so the first one with a regular member. So we thought when they announced it was going to be like NQC plus random members, but it was really, there was no NQC in it. The only members from the original session girl were Onono, Luchan and Karo, and the rest was really random members. So I would like to say it was not that good of a performance because I don't really like this move of removing the Kenkyusei, but it was a very, very good performance. Like the performance, the MC, like everything was really good.
It's really nice in one way, it's really nice to see this mix up and see members perform together who usually don't get to perform together. But still, it has the bad taste of removing a Kenkyusei, so...
Yeah, it's been a while. I think we got the last shuffle Kohen was like 2 years ago, I think. And it was not a new stage, it was just like Team S Kohen performed by half of K2 and Team E.
Yeah. I think maybe it would be a nice idea that if they could just do 1 or 2 SKE stages per month and the rest normal Kenkyusei stages, so it would be a nice way to perform it maybe, but yeah.
Yeah, it's what's weird with that because they just said like from March is going to be random members, but they didn't see when it's going to end. So, and like the Kenkyusei don't seem to know. I think like Narupi, for example, 1 week ago when they announced it, she blocked or they didn't even talk about it. So like they didn't know, the members didn't know. So I don't think they know when it's going to end. So it's pretty weird. But the perf so what's good, for example, with Shuffle Kohen, is like for the introduction MC, like the team members, they all have some kind of moves during their introduction. For example, like for Donchan intro, they all jump. Or for Hatagon, for example, they all treat her like a president. So like some of the members don't know it. Oshilin, for example, was super funny because for every time she was looking around, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So yeah,
the first we saw was Donchan, like all the members jumped except Ego-chan, who was just standing next to her and looking like, what is happening around me?
Yeah. Some of our members didn't jump in the back, so but like Ego-chan was just next to her and like, what? But DMA no Dobutsuen MC was very good too because the two oldest of this perf, Hatagon and Likachun, they were both in Ame no Dobutsuen, was like kind of a cute, like childish song, I think. So yeah, for example, Lika was like, I thought I was going to do like Blue Rose, but I'm sure actually I'm a chimpanzee, so.
I remember the Midnight Stage version, which was also really nice.
Yeah, talking about the Midnight Cohen, they did Virgin Love too.
Yeah.
So Oshelin wanted to show the perf to the members, but when she went and look at it, it was okay. No, it's too sexy. I can't make the young members watch it, so she didn't.
Yeah, I propose young members. The KenQC went to watch it, right? So I saw pictures on Twitter.
Yeah, I don't know if they just went on their own or they had to do it. But yeah, I think it was Yuasa who posted a picture of them taking notes.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm not sure. Like for some KenQC, it's they are not enduring anymore or at all. So it's their only stage. And I think for KenQC, they have to perform a lot. So I don't know how long it's going to be with regular members. Like the perf are going to be good. So that's very great. But yeah, don't know about how I feel about the KenQC not having any stage to perform.
Yeah, we really have to see how this will turn out in the future.
Because I guess some of them will probably be promoted either at the SSA or at the Geisha Hall, but they are the ones who are already enders for other stages.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. That finishes up the theater stages this week, and we move on to TV and media. Usually, as always, we have Musubi no Ichiban. This time it was actually a really uninteresting episode for me, and I guess for many others too. Members were Oshidin, Luca, Kitano Luca and Shirai Kotono. And I even don't know really how to summarize the episode, but I think they had to learn how to interact with celebrities or something like that.
Yeah, it was like they give them a situation and they had to, I don't know, properly react. But
so I mostly skipped through that.
It was a mess. Huh? They were pretty bad at it.
Yeah. So anyway, the Suda and Yuki Arai 10th anniversary challenge was, as usual, at least a bit funnier because they had 100 yen lighter, and they had to light it 10 times in a row in 30 seconds. And
yeah, it's the kind of game you don't want to be too good at.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
And Yuki won with, I think, 3 or 4 times in a row, while Dasu had another kind of lighter, and for every time she made it, she had a miss, so it doesn't count as a row. As usual, we had no performance, and the 30 seconds appeal was Nomura Miyu, who was doing a cardboard drawing. Overall, as I mentioned, a pretty boring episode, so hopefully next week will be much more interesting. Then we had on Tuesday the Nijanai videos, as usual. We had Obata Yuna versus Kitagawa Yoshino, for example, or the 1900th episode with Ego Yuna and Nomura Miyu, and they actually took all the other members for Celebration who were there. And there were, again, as usual, some really funny episodes and some normal ones.
Yeah, Yunana and Yokonyan was very good.
Yeah. It was awesome from beginning to end. It didn't make any sense at all.
Because it's funny because I think Yokonyan was the same, the image of Yunana is kind of a calm girl, but on Ninja Nayo she's usually very outspoken and funny, so Yokonyan was very surprised.
Yeah. Okay. Today, since we're recording a bit later, we had the Sanja Nayo also.
Yeah, and it was a fantastic one. You have to watch it. It was Kuma-chan, Ayamero, and Airi. So, when I saw the members, it's okay, it's Kuma and the two Sagaki. And yeah, it was exactly that. So I think pretty much it was, they were talking about the punishment. So they always have a punishment in Sanja Nayo. So it was Airi at that time. And the rest of the episode was pretty much, so Ayamelo on Ninja Nayo, she has a punishment, she has to post about Ninja Nayo, I think it was 30 times. So she was trying to divide her punishment with Kuma and Ailey if she won the game. So like we had Kuma, Ayamelo, and Ailey, and they all have bad pronunciation. So they were like, okay, Ayamelo was like, oh, I can win against them. Like I'm bad, but they're worst. So she wanted to be like when you have to say a phrase very quickly. And she was like, okay, if you lose, like if either of you lose, like you have to do 30 blogs each.
Okay.
So at some time, Heidi and Kuma was like, why are we playing? Like we can only lose, and even if you like, if we won, like we don't win anything. So pretty much they just left. The guys like, no, we are not playing. So they just left. So it was like Ayamelo trying to get them back and play a game. So at the end they play Thumb Battle. And Ayamelo, she lost to both of them. So she now has to do, it lasts about, I think it's 90 blocks. Yeah.
Okay.
So pretty much every time she appears in Ninja Nayo or Sanja Nayo, she's like, her punishment is going to be worse and worse.
Okay. Yeah, this week we don't have a zero position, but later today.
Yeah, it's like in an hour, yeah.
Yeah. So it's the first half of the music or singing contest, right?
Yeah, and we saw a rehearsal video like earlier this week. So I think it's not going to be a tournament like on SKEncore, for example. It's just going to be each member performing their song. So it was like with a piano. So it's going to be good. And I think they're just going to announce the winner at the end.
Yeah, I think so. And for what I heard, it already sounds really good. So they are really good singers usually. So it's really worth watching.
Yeah, Nao-chan seemed really good.
Yeah, she's gonna win, I'd say.
Yeah, I would say she's good.
Yeah, she's clearly the favorite to win, I think.
Yeah.
And Ryoha is one of the 20s for the show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote in a mobile mail that we should watch with confidence, so maybe she ranks at least at some higher rank. We will see. Then we had like a new, relative new show.
Yeah, well, so this is the third episode of a show called Haru Car Club, which is you've probably seen this already, but SK has a tie-up with Aichi Toyota. So they have these commercials with like this slogan called Fun Fun Drive.
Yeah.
So they have that about every year where they kind of do a thing with Toyota. But now Kumazaka Haruka has a kind of show with them. It's on YouTube, so you can watch. You can watch it. This is the third episode. I actually didn't watch the other episodes, but I did after watching this one. So for this episode, it was Kuma-chan, Hatagon, and Yunana. So they started off in the dealership in the Aichi Toyota place, and then they drove all the way to Nagano Prefecture, and I think they went to Nagano. Actually, I remember this. I don't think they mentioned this in the video, but last week when I went to the theater, Kuma said this, and she's like, "Yeah, I just drove back," because before that theater, she had just driven back with Hatagon from Nagano. So she was like, "Yeah, I'm tired." And then later on in the episode, Kuma and Hatagon go into an onsen. And Yunana couldn't go in because she's too young, I guess.
Nonsense.
Yeah. And I liked in the onsen scene. Obviously, they're not.
Of course,
naked.
you did.
What? No. I'm at the bottom right. There's this. There's these like little like disclaimer, and it says we got permit. Like, don't worry, we got permission from this onsen place for us to film with towels on. Because usually you're not allowed wearing towels, I guess, in the onsen for whatever reason. So I like how they put a disclaimer for that. Like, okay, guys, we had to get permission for them not to be naked. And there was also another scene of them throwing snowballs at each other. So really good episode, honestly. They're only 8 minutes long. but the production value of these is like 10 times whatever Musubi has. So, I recommend that you.
Yeah.
No, honestly, I enjoy these. Like, they're only 8 minutes long. They're stupid, but
Actually,
they're a
I
lot
also
better than.
always enjoy seeing the members drive for some reason. I don't know why. But, for example, during the Fun Drive, we learned the first time that Juna has a driving license. Even the members apparently didn't know. So it was really fun to see that.
Yeah, I recommend you watch the second episode too, because Maya and Kuma are really funny in that.
Okay.
But anyway.
Yeah. Then we had also this time AKB show.
Yeah, last Saturday, February 24th. So they did a skit with Julina, Yunana, Lala, and Naki. So the skit was basically the three younger girls would talk together, and then while Julina is reading a magazine, and they would ask her in terms to give her some senpai to Kohai advice about their performance or some jobs. And Julina would start an answer about pro wrestling that has nothing to do with what was being asked. And so it was that with each of the girls. It was really funny, really well played. And then Kochan had her solo song, so Daremo ni Iwanaide. She performed it in the studio.
Okay.
It's funny because I think like 90% of the people watching didn't get the Julina skits.
It reminded me of Yuzuki on AK Bingo. Like you ask her a question and she will answer about baseball instead.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Let's finish up the news theater roundup. TV show roundup. Okay. Anyway, we go on to the discussion. Last week we started with the introduction of Team S members, and we went pretty far, more than actually half of them, but we still have 5 left, which we will start introducing now. First member is Machi Otoha. Her nickname is Machi. She is 16 from Gifu, from the 7th generation, and her pen lights are light blue, yellow, and a yellow-green. She's actually recently really interested in soccer and has become the ambassador for FC Gifu, for example. It's doing lots of promoting work for them.
Machi is pretty interesting because like during the Verkenkyuse stage, it wasn't paying much attention, but like the first time she did the center for Team S, like as an under, I think like pretty much everyone was very surprised. So I think like, okay, Machi was like a very funny, energy-driven girl. But for a center, she was very, very good. I think many people were surprised.
Yeah, and even until now, she's acting as the under for junior for all the songs in Team S. Yeah,
Julina is the center on the paper, but in reality it's Machi who is the center of the team 95% of the time,
I really like watching that. Also her MCs are so really funny because she tends to stumble over Japanese grammar or words. So, it's really funny to see that. And she's, as we mentioned, she's really sporty and appears often doing sports. For example, Sakuraso.
Yeah, and she was part like one of the new girls doing wrestling, so yeah.
Yeah. Okay, next we have Matsui Jurina, obviously. And she's first gen from Aichi. She's 20 years old. Her nickname is Jurina or Juri. And her pen lights are orange and green for, I think, usually it used to be Team K and Team S or so.
It's going to be funny because I know Nick and me at least. I don't know about Chris. We don't like her, so I think it's going to be good.
Yeah, actually, I respect her for what she is doing and so, but recently, I prefer the Team S stages where she is not there, to be fair.
Yeah, I think like the ambience when she's there and when she's not there, it's not the same. Like you can see like in an MC when she's here, it's not the same.
Yeah, it's just focused more or less on her. But to say like some positive things, she's after all she's
a
the
good
center
performer.
of SKE, and she used to be it all the time. And I think most notable is that she became center for AKB single right after joining SKE.
Yeah, she got a lot of hate for that.
Yeah.
It's really makes sense. Yeah. And she has she's holding the record for the most A sides in AKB48 group with 60 singles.
But about her centering Ogo Diamond, even with all the hate she got for that, what I like is that she still this song still has a special place in her heart. She sang it solo in an acoustic version at the Nagoya concert. She's been doing it solo at some other concerts or live appearances since. She didn't reject it because of the bad reactions. So one thing, obviously she's one of the best performers. Actually, I remember during the Nagoya Dome concert, I was so far that I could not distinguish the girls from each other, except like Kinoshita Yukiko, who had very different hair from the rest. But Juliana was the only one that I could always tell where she is. So obviously, when they are on the main stage in the senbatsu positions, you know where she is and you know where is Rena. But when she was, for example, on the center stage in a circle with 10 girls, and you have no idea what are the positions, they keep turning around, you can always tell where Juliana is, because her dance was always more energetic. The moves were she had larger moves than the other members.
Yeah. So, well, she really deserved, or she earned a place in SKE for sure. But still, I prefer her not taking the spotlight away from the other members during theater stages, for example. Which is...
I'll just back up what Willy said here, but at every performance of like a concert I've been to, that Jorina's been there, she's been really, really good at performing. And, you can really, like she's obviously, you notice where she is. Because she's like right in the middle, but even in any other kind of unit or whatever, she really stands out. So she's all credit to her. She's a great performer.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no doubt.
Sometimes she stands out too much. I remember on Bokutachi wa Tatakanai, the single with Parulu Center, when they were appearing on music stations or other shows, she was just next to Parulu on the left side, and there was such a difference between her and the rest of the first line that it seemed like they were performing a different song. So actually, it would have been better to put a less skilled member instead of her to keep more unity in the first row. But I think also that one of the reasons why SKE's performances in general went as high as they did, like higher than the other groups. So we always we know that it's partly because of their first dance teacher, Anna Sensei, was really strict. That it's also for the younger girls because of some very strict senpais like Kuwabara Mizuki. But I think that also having Juliana being the youngest member and the center was showing to the other girls, like basically if you attain this level of performance, maybe you can get to the front row or even to the center position. Where at the same time you had AKB with Maeda Tsuko as center, telling you, you can get center if Kimoto likes you, but other than that, we don't know what you should do for.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, next member is Matsumoto Chikako. Her nickname is Chikako. She's 18 from Osaka, from the first draft generation. Her pen lights are pink and orange. And yeah, she's like in a catchphrase. She's saying she wants to be the brightest star in SKE, and she's just constantly smiling all the time. Unless she gets like she just doesn't.
Unless it's Arsat side and she would cry.
Yeah. So she's actually, some members said she when something doesn't work out, she's immediately depressed. But usually she tries to be really happy. And she's really close with Ryoha, for example.
She's really one of my kids. Like I've seen her, because when I went into SKE, it was pretty much the same time as the first generation of draft get into. So I followed her like since the beginning, and I've seen her in Handshake and in Two Shot like for years. So it's pretty funny to see her. Like she was pretty shy, like a shy, cute kid when I saw her the first time. And recently, she's very like with her fans. She's like she's a dude. Like, okay, how are you doing? She's like, yeah.
Yeah, she's for example, also for me she doesn't really look like 18, especially her face just looks so much younger.
Yeah.
And yeah, she used to be vice leader of Team S, but then got replaced. So I guess that's something that didn't work out so far.
Yeah, and her position in Team S is pretty original, because at the time of the draft, she was the only draftee of Team S. So she was, and because at the time they didn't went into the KenQC program, so she was directly introduced in the team. And I think it was pretty hard for her, but I think in Team S, she's one of the most liked people, like by everyone. It's like it's their kid. She's the one who's been there the most time.
Yeah.
And she's always been in Team S. She hasn't been in any other team.
She missed the Shunichi of the stage because she was still I guess some kind of under the previous stage.
Yeah.
I think like every draftee, I think I remember Danchan, her first performance in Team E was Arsat Tensai. So it was like, okay, you have to perform. So she performed for the first time for Arsat Tensai.
Yeah.
Yeah, to add on to, sorry to bust in here, but Chikako, during concerts and so on, she is really, really good at finding fans. And like during MCs, if she's not talking, she will just, at least the concerts I went to. I don't know about theaters, but at concerts, she's constantly looking at people and waving at them. And, you know, like she's just really a cool member, I find, to look at during the concerts.
Yeah.
Since she's always smiling, she just brightens up the whole atmosphere, really.
Yeah, exactly.
So, really nice too in person. Like, I've never seen her in Handshake, but I've talked to her quite a lot.
Yeah.
She's really nice.
Yeah, I didn't go last year, but I will go in April to see her. So.
For handshakes, for I don't know, for the first experience, for example, it's she's one of the members who is very easy to talk with.
Yeah.
She's smiling all the time, obviously, but also she will engage the conversation if you're being shy or hesitating, or even if she has something to tell you, she will start from herself.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can ask for Hengao, like in 2 shots, it's no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's also really good at sports, like for the Daion Dokai, the first one. When Team S was just perfect, and she's really good in all this. Like we had last week with the snowboarding, for example.
Yeah, and she used to do kendo, I think.
Yeah.
I remember from her last draft video.
Exactly.
And she was too in the new girls doing wrestling, and she did very good. I think she had like a small role because it was like a 6-person tag, so she didn't have a lot to do. But yeah, I'm counting on her to do more.
Mm.
And one of the good things, they don't do it anymore right now, but at the time with Sai and Mai Mai, because she's from Osaka, so she's supposed to be like a funny girl. So they have her do her jokes, and every time it's like a big okay, it's not very good, but okay, it's cute. So, but she's one of the senpai now, so there's not many people left who can have her do it.
Yeah, and well, they sometimes do it at MCs or so when they force her to do act funny stuff. So, but now she has some company with, for example, Yoko or so, who's also, of course, from there. So they form like the Osaka unit. Yeah, next one is Yamauchi Suzuran, or Ranran. She's 23 from, also getting 24 this year. She's from Chiba and from AKB's 9th generation, so she transferred to SKE during the Daisokaku. Her palette is green and white. And yeah, she's, I think, one of the most funny characters in a way in SKE or in Team S, but more in a like lewd way.
And at the beginning, it was pretty hard because I think she was really searching for her character. Like I remember watching the stages at the time, and like a week from the next, she was doing a totally different character. So yeah, she tried like the hentai character, she tried the golf character, and a lot of things. But now she's really established, and I think she's more friends with the members. It took some time, but she's very good now. And like our Midnight Cohen performances are amazing.
I was gonna say she lives for the Midnight Cohen.
Yeah,
like, that's her purpose in life.
I think actually Risako told on the Midnight Cohen that sometimes members or fans come to her handshake events and complain about Ranran teaching the younger members bad stuff. And she also said that
good stuff, you mean?
Sometimes the younger members come to Ranran after the MCs backstage and ask her what the joke was about she just did or so, and the other older members have to stop her explaining before she tells them any like bad stuff.
I think one of the reasons why it took her a while to find her position in Team S is that when like after that shuffle, Team S didn't really have as much unity as other teams. Like when Obamina had she had already done some canon before the
she was like 2 years already, I think.
But when she as soon as she arrived, she was with Furukawa Eri and Takanagi Akane, and they integrated her right away in the team. And I don't think there was anyone to do that for Suzuran.
Yeah, it was, I think, a really hard time doing. Also with they had Miyuki there and Tanaka Natsumi and so on, so they had lots of outside members to include, and then some graduations. So it was really difficult for the team at the beginning, I think. But I'm glad it worked out now. Currently, when Julina isn't there, Suzuran is the oldest, or like the biggest senpai. So, she has grown a lot. Next and last member is Yamada Juna, or Juna-chan sometimes, or Junako, or J, like, they say this. She's 19 from Aichi, from the 6th generation, kind of like colors are orange, yellow, and blue. And she's really, really good at MCs, I think. Whenever she's doing MCs, it's always hilarious. She has nice ideas. She likes mocking the other members.
And she's one of the only ones who can tackle Jurina.
Yeah. She's I think she has a dirty secret of any member in SKE that she could talk about. And she's also surprisingly really good at moe seirifus when they have like to do cute sentences or cute words. Maybe because of her size, because she's just so small.
And I remember from her is during it was some years ago. It was for the 46 Cohen. I remember there was a video of like the producer praising her, and she was like, "Okay, you're not being energetic enough. Like, do you see Juna and she's totally at the back, but you can only see her." And when while she was being praised, she was crying. So yes, it was like a video I still have.
Yeah, and also like during the solo concert, she was performing a version of Yuroko ni Nishimai no Uta, where she introduced all of Team S members with funny lines and making fun of them also. So this is also really worth watching.
I think Juna's done a really good job at kind of coming more forward.
Yeah.
Or maybe this was just me back then not really knowing her, but she really seems to have come to the front, and she's, like you said, she's really good at MCs. I find she's pretty funny of a member, even if she doesn't really have I don't know if she has the funny care, but anyway, people don't really think of her first when they think of a funny member, maybe. And for me, her blogs are really, really funny. I don't really go on them much, but whenever I click on her blog, it's really funny in a way. Like sometimes I remember after a member, I mean, I don't think this was intentionally funny, but I think after a member graduated, and I forget who, I think it was Yumechi maybe. I looked at her blog and she wrote about that graduation announcement as if it was like her diary or like a school report, and it was written in such a weird way, like a robot. And I just found that really funny. And I can't think of why, but she's made other probably intentionally funny blogs where she talks about really random things. Anyway, so I can't think of concrete examples right now, but whenever I click on her blog, she's funny. So I think of her as one of the funny members.
Yeah. I think most of her funniness comes from interaction with members, because usually it's not so much what she is saying which is funny, but the things she makes other members say, or she hits their weak spots or so, and the interaction then is really funny to watch, at least for MCs or so. And that's the way. Okay, with that we have introduced you to all members from SKE Team S. They are currently 15, so we are a bit faster than that. But we'll still have to talk about the stage. Of course, since Team S is the oldest team, they started with the stages first.
Yeah, they started with the party.
Tsugani Nagara.
Oh, okay.
But then, they had Tsunagi Nagara.
Okay.
That they were running in 2009. So it's the only stage that all three teams have done actually. But they handed it over to Team K2 around the end of 2009 to move to Seifu Kunome. Then they did reset in between the shuffles. And so now it's Kasaneta Shiato. So about Teotsunagi Nagara, so it's actually one of the stages that has been the most performed out of the whole 48 group. I think maybe only Pajama Drive is above. Like SK did it almost 400 times. HKT is around the same number, maybe above. And Team 4 did it as well. So many, there's a few very iconic songs for SK in that stage. Teotsunagi Nagara, of course, who they perform at almost every major concert.
Yeah.
Usually it's one of the last songs, either just before or after the encore.
Yeah, especially with the lyrics, they were really good fitting also.
Yeah. And Bokura no Kaze and Chime Well of Song are also pretty iconic. Like when you hear them, there are some stages songs that you kind of forget, you don't know which stage they are from or even which group, because all the groups have done other groups' stages many times. But these were often featured on promotional videos, for example, when they would have a video for each group to introduce something. These songs were often used for SK, so they are really associated with the SK image.
Yeah.
Also, the units are some of the units that have been the most performed in the whole 48 group, not only by SKE, like Glory Days, Wimbledon et Solitaire, Ameno Pianist.
Yeah, absolutely.
But actually, apart from, so Glory Days is clearly associated with Julina. For the other units, it's a bit less clear because since after just 8 months, the stage was moved to Team K2. which was kind of just starting. They kind of became Team K2 units pretty quickly. So only Glory Days stayed for Julina, like, ranking every year at the request hour. So the third stage, Seifukunome, holds some records. So it's the longest stage that has been performed by a team. They did it almost 4 years straight. So 1,355 days between 2009 and 13. Like the second longest stage is Reset at 969 by Team M.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's they are over a year longer than that, and that was only the first time they performed it. Because then they
also.
Yeah, they did it again for almost 800 days between 2014 and 16. So the total is above 2,000. So as a result, it's also the stage that has been performed the most times by a single team. Though not in a single run. Like some stages have been performed more without breaks. But yeah, they are. This one has been performed over maybe like 350 times or something like that by Team S.
Yeah, this was also some really memorable songs like Nakama no Uta or Koi no
Yeah,
Kataru
Nakama no Uta and Pinocchio Gun that are also concert staples.
Yeah.
And Koi o Kataru Shijin, to me, when I think about SKE, the first image that comes into my mind is Team S performing that song.
Yeah, the opening is just the stage starts and this just comes up. It's immediately tension up.
Also, there's some other songs that I really like Jiruzi no Alibi or Rakuen no Kaidan.
Yeah,
that kind of change from the image of previous stages. They are a bit more dark songs.
Yeah,
and I think it really fits the team well.
Yeah, it's like pretty passionate songs, especially like Rakuen no Kaidan or so. So
yeah.
That really fits the SKE
image.
More
passionate than dark. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Also for the units, Omoide Ijo, Karehano Station, Okamito Pride are some of the most famous units of the whole 48 groups.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, but anyway, on 2016, in June, we moved over to the new stage Kasaneta Ashato, and that's almost 2 years now, actually. And yeah, this is the stage they're currently performing, and it's more like the best of SKE, or Donchan, I think, called it the SKE stage when she watched the Shoniki. So it's more like a mini concert because they have all kinds of SKE included.
It's it's the best of SKE, but biased towards Team S. Like you have there are some SKE songs and some Team S songs, but you don't have like Team K2 or Team E songs.
Yeah,
except no, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you have Manazashi Sayonara.
Except Manazashi Sayonara. Yeah.
But yeah, it's of course it's the Team S stage in the end. But I think if I would like to show someone who has never seen a theater stage, I'd probably, and if it has to be a current stage, I would probably show him this one because it just includes everything from SKE. You like funny things, dancing things, and so on.
Yeah, there's many of my favorite SKE songs are in this. So yeah, if I have to show SKE Cohen, I'm going to show that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you have a good mix of good group songs in the beginnings, some strong units, some a bit less. The dance medley, then a small selection of singles, and Okidoki and Pario are some of the most popular singers. Buki Otayo is less, but the stage always has to finish by a ballad, so I guess it's the obvious choice. And then there's Team Soshi, of course, to learn about the girls.
Yeah, and it's just so hilarious to see the interaction. Every performance you find new things, the members goof around us to watch it. You can watch every performance 10 times and you haven't seen everything, I think. And with like Hokaku Race, when the encore starts, it's always again really energetic, and ending with Boku Shiteru is just the best way to end the stage, I think.
Yeah, and I love the costume for Hokaku Race.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know from what song it was. I don't think it was from Okago Lace, but I love those
actually from
constants.
Kissenai Hono, I think.
Yeah, because I thought it was Okago Lace, but yeah, it wasn't.
It's Kissenai Hono, I think the first coupling or second coupling song with from Miyazawa Team-S.
But yeah, it's a great collection of songs, but I've seen like a lot of fans don't really like this stage. Like like on Matome, I see a lot of comments like they want them to change stage. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, I also don't get it.
Because a lot of they say, oh, it's like a concert, but it's not really a stage.
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand what they mean by that. I don't feel that way. I think this is a great stage, and I like the way it is.
Yeah, me too.
But I remember, I think this was an interview from 2014 with Churi when they did Theater no Megami for K2.
Yeah.
And she was talking about how they make stages, and she said, well, anyway, like obviously they weren't given a choice. Well, there was a bit of a choice anyway, but so they were given that stage, and she was asked to talk about the stage. And she said that stages need like a kind of coherent structure to them. So you need like the songs need to tie into each other to create a bit of a story. Anyway, that was her take on it.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, I'm not saying she's not said anything about the stage, so I'm not trying to make a link here. But I think, I think people might be upset about that because, you know, if you don't really see a coherent structure to it, I do see a coherent structure in this stage, but it's not like other stages maybe.
Yeah,
where
really
you know, like you have a clear logic to it. This one has a clear logic, but it's a very different one. I mean, like Willy said, you know, you have the units, and then you have the medley, and then you have theater single songs.
Yeah, and
right. So
I think the singles are the big issue maybe for the fans who don't like this, because it's kind of just a juxtaposition of three singles, one after the other. There's no real link in between.
Also,
so I think that's maybe the weakest part of the stage for me.
Yeah, I think too.
There are also some fans complaining about the dance medley just because it's hard to cheer during that.
Yeah. Actually, I think it was the biggest thing. Like when the stage was first performed, they're like, okay, there's no like places for calls.
Yeah,
in a lot of songs.
But I think by now they just see it as a really cool part of the stage where you can really enjoy the coolness of the members.
Yeah.
And so this is really great to watch. And as for the units, I really like all of them, especially like that you have the transition for Akapin. You have two members performing instead of just one, because I'm generally not a fan of solo songs.
Akapin is great.
Now I'm so used to the mix of the dance song, it's terrible. Like during Escape, I'm expecting it to end at that time because I've heard it so much in the dance medley.
Yeah, I have the same thing when Manazashi Sayonara ends. I immediately expect it to transit into Ainodul. So, I've clearly watched too many stages of that.
For me, the most jarring thing. Okay, go ahead.
Not just about the lack of calls. Actually, when I went to see it at the theater on Christmas Day, because I don't watch stages that often, I never remember when are the calls. So I usually just follow the audience, and I was just waiting for most of the stage. When are the calls starting?
Yeah.
And on most songs they didn't come.
Yeah. I mean, it's really depending on the audience. Like for some members, Satan says when you have really passionate fans, they do all the calls and you can clearly hear them. But
I think
the singles especially also like calls.
Yeah.
So that's a general thing for singles in any concert.
Yeah.
But on stages, it's pretty rare to have this.
Yeah. What I like about another thing I like is for Ainodul, because that they just included their story from Seifuku no Me back then. Because usually in Seifuku no Me they had after the Mangekyo song that was an MC, and they often were playing the Mangekyo Sentai or so, like the superhero squad.
Yeah.
And they just took that members and put them into Ainodul in another superhero squad, which is something I really like. Even though only one channel is left from them, but it's always nice to watch, I think.
just to build off what Willy was saying about the dance medley and the calls. For me, that's honestly, I haven't seen Team S yet, so I can't say. But I feel like whenever I go to the theater, the calls are a big part of the enjoyment for me. It's just, you kind of get into it, right, when you put your voice into it and you're waving your pen lights. So for me, I haven't gone to the Team S stage yet, but I remember being at the Kenkyusei stage and a bit of the K2 stage have a bit less calls. Like the Team E stage right now has really a lot of calls. Pretty much every song has a lot of calls. So I have a lot of fun with that one going live. So Team S, I'm not sure about that. And one other thing I want to say about the medley was that it felt jarring to me seeing the Team S stage, this stage first for the first time, because I was so used to the Team K2 medley at the end, and then you have this like other medley in the middle of the stage. So I just found that a bit weird because I was used to the other format.
It's also like when you have Innocence at the beginning, and at least until when they started performing it, half of the members wasn't able to sing it. Now it has become much more, but it's still half the members is just dancing. It's nice to watch.
There's still a few who cannot sing, like Mio, but I think it's just a few members now.
Yeah, it's like since you can sing it from high school now, it's Kamimura, I think, and Mio. I think it's maybe all even.
Is the limit about entering high school, or is it about being 16 or something?
I think they changed it to high school.
So yeah, Mio is entering high school in a month. I don't know about Kaminu, but...
I guess we will see then if they can perform or not.
And what's good too in this stage, we've got a lot of change. Like we're gonna jump, they change the center each time.
Yeah.
For Akaipin, it's changing members every time too.
This is good and bad.
Yeah, I think the thing with Akaipin, I don't like when a small member is doing it, because I think the costume is not made for a small girl.
It's made for a tall and slender girl, since it was made for Joanna. And since like the song is kind of about showcasing the legs, it suits some members better than the others.
Yeah, that's true.
When Juna or Ai are doing it, I just think it's weird. Like just costume-wise, it's not made for them.
I think most of the performance gets it. For Ayuka, she just looked too young for the costume, I think, but like Aya and Yuna make up for it by their expressions, I think. But of course, I'm probably biased by that, so.
Me, it's really like costume-wise. I think it looks weird on a small girl.
Yeah, it's really sometimes too. Of course, maybe it also depends on the camera, depending on how much or what they're showing. Like I think the DMM camera often only shows the upper part of the body, and that doesn't matter so much.
Because then about age, actually, I think I don't really see an issue with young members doing it. I more see an issue with older members doing it.
No,
like Masana or Goto Risako.
She looked weird in the costume. That was all.
Yeah, but like when there are some older members like Risako and Masana doing it, I don't think it fits the story of the song. Like you're trying to imagine a high school girl or maybe a university student, but still
for a university student, Risako would be perfectly fitting.
Yeah, Risako was a university student, yeah.
Yeah, but kind of like under 20 years old, like still illegal in a way.
Okay, yeah.
The one I really like too is Stekina Izadeko-kan. Like I really, really, really love the costumes.
Yeah.
I love that there's like the back dancers. So it was the FJN at the time. So I was pretty much like looking at the back more than the performing members. But right now, like with Yukonyan and Luchan, they're so good in this.
Yeah.
So it's my favorite unit right now. I really love it.
Yukonyan has mostly been out of it for now because she's in Manazashi, not in Ainu at the moment. So it's mostly Luchan, and I think Machi is also often entering.
So yeah, like Yukonyan, she's doing like Akaipin and Ainorul.
Yeah. Exactly.
I guess the song for me that I like in this well, a song I think is a good addition is Team Soshi. Willy touched on it, but it's a really good song to get to know members. So actually, I learned most of the members. Like when I first got into SKE, I watched the K2, K2 Oshi. And so that's how I kind of got to learn the members, because they all look the same. It's like at the beginning when you're a fan, you're like, who are these, and how do you get to know them? And so that type of song is a really good one to get to know the members.
Yeah, I also, when I try to list the members in my head or something, I'm not sure if I forgot someone. I just go by the parts of Oshi and then check who I missed.
8 years ago, actually, when I got into AKB, the first team whose members I remembered everyone was Team B because of Team B Oshi as well.
Yeah, exactly. See, even I knew Team B even after because of that song. Like I discovered Team B Oshi and I'm like, oh, K2 has a version too, great.
Yeah.
But this Team S Oshi version, I'm not too sold on it. The performance is fine, but what the members say and what they do after, I'm really on the fence with it. Sometimes I like it, and sometimes I really don't like it.
It's just that it suffers from comparison to Team K2 Oshi, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, it
can't hold a candle. So.
Yeah, for me, because I really love the members, it's the perfect song for me.
Yeah, what I like about it, I don't really care about the little skit or everything. The only thing, I love to capture GIF and videos. So that's the song, the choreography is pretty much free. You have a small choreography you can do, and you can do anything you want. So if you want to jump on the back of a member, crouch, you can do anything. So it's pretty much very good. When Yumechi was doing sort of weird jump. You had Mia Miami was doing a Yankee pose. It was you're free, so they can do a lot of things.
Yeah, also, usually, before it was Risako and now it's II who's holding back some members at the side to the end of the song as long as possible, and they just goofing around there.
Rush at the end, yeah.
Yeah. That's really nice. Also for Bokuwa Shiteru, I like that they usually use the oldest members as centers. Before it was Masana and Risako when Jirina wasn't there, and now it's Piyosu and Wanchan. And the song has just a really great melody in my opinion.
So yeah, it's I really like watching this perf, from a perf to another, with the changing members and songs like Team Yoshi, Team S Oshi and Tewotsugani Nagata. It's pretty changing from two performance. There's a lot of new things to watch.
Yeah. I already know if I ever get into that stage, I will be in huge trouble because both of my Oshis are in the same unit, so I have no idea how I will be able to do that.
That's when you know who your real Oshi is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem that makes me sure that I have two Oshis, because I still can't decide since weeks. I guess I just wear one Satan Side t-shirt and one other's pen lights or so.
No. You're gonna know when you go there in person. Yeah. I think I was talking about this with Jeff, but we were there was a moment where we had to choose whose pen light to put, right?
Yeah, that's when I officially Oshi end.
Exactly.
At Lena's graduation in concert, I had to choose, so it was okay. Well, it's Don-chan.
Okay.
Yeah, it was same with me. It was Churi and Mayo in front of me. I'm like, all right.
Okay, I guess I will find out soon. I know for the last mini live I went, I had one chance, but only because I had two pen lights and not three. So we will see then.
I went there with Ryoha's t-shirt and Mio's pen lights. So at the end, during the Mio Kuri, actually I buttoned up my jacket and I just opened it in front of Ryoha, who got really surprised because she didn't see it coming, and then closed it again before arriving in front of Mio.
Mm. Okay. Yeah, I hope I get in next month or so. Then I can know it, or I will finally know who my Oshi is again.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess it's easier when they're on the same unit, yeah, because when you're hesitating between two girls in different teams or different groups, you don't see them perform together. It's kind of impossible, but
yeah. In a way,
Yeah,
it's easier
yeah,
because
it's
you
easy.
don't have to expose yourself as liking both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. If nobody has anything else about the stage, I guess.
I just want to say that the intro of Innocence with Ryoha singing solo for 15 seconds is my favorite 15 seconds of any stage ever.
Yeah, for me, it's actually the next couple of seconds when Aya is singing. So we are on that.
Chicago's are solo line too.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
also another
But
reason why I like when.
it used to be Yumechi, so I'm kind of torn on it.
Yeah. So that's another reason why I prefer if Julina isn't there, because then everything else is changed around. I like the performance the way it is. Yeah. Okay. So I'd say we finish with Team S now. Next week we will start with Team K2. They have actually a lot of more members, so this will maybe take more time. But
Can't wait.
Yeah, we have some experts here, so then it's their turn to talk and my turn to listen. And yeah, make sure you listen to that one too. And if you have questions or anything, you can just write it in the comments or hang us up on Twitter. Our accounts are linked in the description as usual. Yeah, thank you for listening until here, and goodbye.
See you next
Bye.
week.
See you next
Peace.
week.